You
What's
ready?
going on?
So now you
Sorry
can
about
hear me,
that. I have no
bro?
idea why. Yeah, I can hear everybody.
I just
Hell
found
All
it
yeah.
right.
so funny. Yeah,
Crazy.
everybody except me. That's hilarious.
Yeah, my bad.
Nah, all good, all good. Well, thank you for joining us this evening. I mean, we are so happy to have you here. Now, for anyone who doesn't know, doesn't know you or hasn't seen you
Mm,
live yet, just how do you
mm.
describe what you do? It's so interesting. It looks like you just blend all these genres of music and do your own thing. So explain to us,
Yeah.
what you do.
Yeah, I think that's really the key. Like, I mean, I've been a musician my entire life. Like, my dad played, my godfather, Wawa was Teddy Pendergrass's only guitar player. So it's like me growing up around music the way that I did. My mom was a DJ, and I just feel like the influx of music that I got at such a young age and it being so diverse at that, you know what I mean? Where like my dad put me on the R&B and smooth jazz and stuff, and my mom put me on the like country and Tupac and Big Pun. Like it's such like a wide array of music. So I think my whole thing has just been to do what I do naturally, which is just like play the music that I just naturally love. And I think
Yeah.
it just comes across that way as far as me like not really having any line in the sand as far as like I'll play this, but I won't play that. Like I'm just whatever sounds good to me. You know what I mean? And these are just this is just the music that I enjoy. So whether it's hip hop, R&B, or rock and metal, or smooth jazz, like it's all the same to me. It's just good music, you know.
Yeah, that sounds like a true musician. They don't care what the genre is. If it sounds good, they love it.
That's it. It's just that
That's
simple.
a true
Like,
musician.
yeah, yep, yeah, yep.
Yeah, yeah. So let me ask you now. Where did you start? Did you start like in the church, or
Mm.
where did you get your upbringings?
Yeah, church definitely was huge. Especially like I mean, all y'all know how the black church is. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I'm sure like music and like just the religion go hand in hand, you know what I mean? So my dad had me playing like drums and saxophone and guitar like all through church growing up, and was playing drums and stuff like that all through church up until pretty much like the pandemic, you know what I mean? Like, and still do on the occasion just with my schedule and stuff. But yeah, like just getting that early performance experience and just like learning how to go off of no music or anything, just eyebrows and cues and
Yeah.
like looks and stuff like that, I feel like gave me a lot of really good experience. And just playing in school, you know, elementary school, stuff like that, jazz band and middle and high school. So yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So how many different instruments do you play? Because you said a couple, and I
Mhm.
I saw you played a guitar as well. So how many different
Yeah.
instruments do you play?
Yeah, I play saxophone. I play guitar. I feel like those are the two I'm probably
Yeah.
most known for.
Yeah.
But I also play drums and I play keys as well.
Wow.
And that's yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah. No, that's a lot. Like
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
said
fair
it
enough. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that's a lot. That's a lot. Now, when did you realize that music was it for you?
Mm.
because a lot of people play music in the church.
Mhm.
They come up with family. I mean, you basically were raised within a musical home. But when did
Mhm.
you realize this is something that you wanted to do?
Really super early. Like I remember my dad always told me, I don't even know if he remembers this, but periodically we would like talk even in like elementary school and he'd be like, "Hey, I never want you to feel like you have to do music because I do music." And I was
Mhm.
like, "Nah, like I want to do it. I think it's cool." You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
so yeah, I think I knew pretty like my mom would take us to go see my dad play at these resorts. Like there's this one place in Pennsylvania called the Woodlands in Wilkes-Barre, and him and his band used to do like residencies there for like a whole month at a time or like
Mhm.
weeks at a time. Every weekend they'd hit, and my mom would take me and my brother when we were like 2, 3, 4 years old, and take us to the club. And like we could like stay for the first set because like you know we're the son of the band that's playing, so they would like let us kind of like sit off by the stage in the
Yeah.
corner for like the first set, and then we'd have to roll out after that. So I think like you know being that young and just seeing performance that close and people being so into it, like I just knew right away that I was like, this is I can't really see myself doing anything but this. Like music, that's just what
Yeah.
I want to do before I could even play, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Did you find it a little bit easier because your parents were already in the industry to kind of break in and get started, or was it
Mm.
like do you have some really tough memories and like tough learning lessons from your beginnings, like the beginning?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know if anyone's ever asked me that before. Yeah, I mean, I feel like yes and no. I feel like sure, yeah, I got a lot of experience just with my dad doing what he did and my godfather doing what they did, and my mom even being a DJ. Like I feel like sure, I was able to see certain things at an early age to where it probably, yeah, I'm sure it gave me a leg up. And even my dad, like he played saxophone, so by the time I got to school, for instance, I had already had experience playing the saxophone before we even like technically started. So yeah, I definitely think I got like a crash course very early on like music performance and but some of the more like industry things, I feel like I picked up like a lot of the business stuff. I like picked up myself. I went to school for business and
Yeah.
music, and I feel like a lot of that stuff, like marketing and contracts and stuff like that, I like taught myself because they had experience in that, but it was just kind of in a different lane. You know what I mean? Like they didn't
Yeah.
have as much. I didn't have a lawyer in the family or anyone who was like really well versed in like marketing or business or anything to kind of sit me down and be like, hey, like you need to, trademark certain things. You need to have this in your contracts to protect you from blah blah blah. Like I had to figure
Mhm.
all that out myself. But the performance side and like just the experience playing in front of people and sound and stuff like that and what people want to, when they're in a crowd, what they want from the person performing, I feel like I definitely had a huge like advantage on that end for sure.
Yeah, I mean, because I think a lot of people, when they first start and getting into the music industry or decide they want to be a musician or singer or whatever it is, they don't realize that it's a business, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
I,
yeah,
I think that that's an issue, and why a lot of people probably don't wind up making the millions that they expect to make because they don't understand the business side.
yeah.
Now, do you have like any of like what would be if you could give one piece of advice for somebody just first starting out? What would that
Mm.
be?
Just like just in general, like about this
In
music
terms of
and music industry.
understanding yeah, just understanding like the business side of it, and just getting in and what to look for.
Read books.
Mm.
I think that's a huge one because, contrary to popular belief, all the information is not on Google and Chat GPT and stuff like that. Contrary and like social media, contrary to what people think, like some things would require you to crack open a book. Like Wiz Khalifa's manager Will sent me a book like some years ago, and it was just that. It was just like just a all you need to know about the music industry, and it's just crash course on a little bit of everything. And like even after reading that, I was like, oh man, like there's just some things that you can't necessarily be found all the time online. You know what I mean? Like some things do require you to open a damn book. So I would say that number one, and number two, uh one, get as much experience like performing as possible. Like if you want to perform, like especially early on, like jump at every opportunity. Like people would hit me up all the time and be like, yo, like how do I, or not even just necessarily hit me up, but I just see it online. People are like, yo, like how do I, I want to blow up online and I want to do this, that, and the third. I'm like, does everyone from the town that you live in know who you are and what you do? Like if you can go somewhere in your town and not be like stopped by someone and be like, hey, like, when's your next blah, blah, blah? Like, start there. You know what I'm saying? Like, that should be your first key. Like, everyone who's around you within your proximity should know exactly who you are and exactly what you do. And if they don't know, then
Mhm.
they should have somehow heard. So, if you're not popping in your hometown or your state or whatever, like, let's start there, build, and then build your social media presence simultaneously while you're doing that. And my third thing would just be to get like a rock solid like entertainment lawyer,
Mm.
because so many people learn lessons after the fact, and it happens to everyone, right? Like there's things I've learned, like damn, like looking back, if I would have known that. But there's a phrase where it's like smart people learn from their own mistakes, wise people learn from the mistakes of others. So I just feel like going off of what I've seen from other people, I tried to really like talk to someone. What's up, doggy? I tried to talk to someone who really knew what they were doing. You know what I mean? Before maybe I signed something that I didn't fully understand. So yeah.
Sorry, my phone is low.
Oh, it's
Put
totally
a
cool.
little word in edgewise. He's like,
Nah, it's all good. Dogs are cool.
yeah. So, so that's really great advice. I think a lot of new artists, if they had someone giving them that type of advice, they'd probably,
Mm,
you know, either would avoid making some mistakes or
yeah,
gotten a lot further along.
yeah.
But you did mention, I want to talk about, because you did mention Wiz Khalifa, and I
Mm,
actually listened to your collaboration with him, and it's so cool. Like, it's such a
thank you.
cool sound. Yeah, I really love it.
Thanks. Yeah, same.
How did that come about?
Yeah, I'm first of all, I'm just a super fan, like
Mm-hmm.
a super fan. Like I mean, I was going to shows, I was buying the VIP tickets to meet him and take pictures with him, and I was dressing just like him, and I would like even when I first started like rapping in my town and stuff, like with other rappers, like I was trying to sound just like him, and
Mm-hmm.
like just I don't know, I feel like so much of what he for especially for my age group, his music, guys like him, Mac Miller, and a lot of those rappers from like the blog era of rap, like really hit
Yes.
at a good time where like we all felt like we all went to the same parties, playing the same music, the same albums. Like I was hosting uh like mixtape and album release parties. Like when he dropped a new album, me and my homies we get together, we would just be chilling, eating and listening to
Mm.
his songs all day. So like I'm really a fan. Like I know the catalog, I know his material. And same with like most of the other things where I just started doing covers and of his music and covering some of his artists on his label. And he had just it was like during the pandemic, he had just like I covered a bunch of his artists and they started sharing it. And I think he saw the videos that they were sharing. And
Wow.
I covered something like of his as well. And then he was like on Instagram live one day and then just like added me into the live and was like, yo, Saxl Rose, like I got some songs for you. I need you to go crazy on the sax and guitar. And I was like, word, cool. So yeah, just
That is so
did
dope.
yeah, it was crazy. It was really organic. Like just started recording on his mixtape and then I did a single with him off of his album in 2020. Was it 2020? 2021? It was called the it was called was oh the saga Wiz Khalifa Deluxe and I did a song called Trap Nap and then he owns this company called the PFL, the Professional Fighters League, which is kind of like a somewhat of an offshoot of like UFC almost, but it's on ESPN. And he had me record and produce for the theme song to that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did this album called Multiverse. I did like a bunch of post production on there. That was like 2023, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And flew me out to LA to like record in the studio and do like guitar and sax and so we've had like a really good like working relationship really since we like crossed paths and he got on Twitch recently and started doing like lives again. And I just started sending him some stuff I was working on
Yeah.
and that was just like he was just like really vibing with it. So he was like,
Wow.
bro, like this is dope. And he recorded it live on Twitch too. So I got to see the entire process, even though I wasn't technically in the room, which is really
And
cool.
he coined the name. He coined like a term for the sound that you guys created, right? Between you and him, is it what's it called?
Yeah, the Trapsophone.
Trapsophone.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He was, yeah, yeah. He was like, yo, yeah, Saxo, the first trapsophone player, because he was like, yo, it's trap, but it's the like the sax and it's smooth, and we just blended
Yeah.
it. So that
Oh,
led
it's so
me
cool.
to creating my own project that I have coming out actually at midnight tonight called Trap Saxo, and it's essentially that like through the DNA of what I created for him. I just kept creating that type of thing, but under my own like name and am starting to like release music off of what's gonna be my album, which is called Trap Saxel. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a good
yeah.
sound. It blends like soul, trap, pop, also
Yeah.
some hip hop as
Oh yeah.
well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Um, what like it's well, you come from roots. I mean, your roots are from different places. But when did you sit
Mhm.
down and say, "I'm just gonna put all of this together and run with it"?
Uh, I'm not sure if I like really like there was no point that I really like sat down and said, I'm gonna make it and it's gonna sound like this. I think like once Wiz, like for the example of Wiz, like once he was like, I'm in the studio and I'm recording, like
Mm-hmm.
I know his music so well that I was like, I feel like if I make it and I think it's dope, there's a pretty good chance he's gonna think it's dope because a lot of
Yeah.
the stuff that like he likes, I like because of like what he's already done. So I kind of just like sat down and was like, I'm just gonna make something dope. And like I'm sure if I think it's dope, he'll think it's dope. So like that's kind of just how that came together as far as on that end. But I don't know if I ever really like sat down. Like I think it's just like again, just making what I think is cool, which I like trap, I like hip hop, I like rap, and I also just happen to play the saxophone and think that uh it works in really any format. Sax has such like a distinct and unique place in music where you can play it in almost any genre. And that was kind of my whole thing before too. Like you can like when you're in school, you think it's only classical or jazz because like that's what you're told, you know what I mean? And like once you get out there and start experiencing things, I'm like, oh, they got sax and reggae and there's rock sax players and like and then I just happened to play and just started kind of placing it into stuff that I liked where I heard it in my own head. So I don't know if it was like too much of like a I'm gonna sit down and do this and blend like, but it was just like I think it was just kind of natural. Like I play sax and I also like metal and rap. So let's just play sax over it and see what happens. And people thought it was cool. So
Yeah, it is really cool actually, and
thanks.
yeah, it's actually really. I kind of scroll through all of your videos on Instagram, and the
Oh,
sound,
thanks.
and the thing, but the thing is that people when they think of sax, they think of jazz. They don't really
Yeah, yeah,
think of hip hop. I don't think people realize how musical hip hop really is.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's really dope for you to be able to bring that to the masses. And I think
Thanks.
that, yeah,
Wow.
absolutely.
Thanks.
Absolutely. So you've played everything from like Warp Tour, arena, to shows and jazz festivals. Which crowd surprised you the most? Like which crowd were you like, oh, okay, that
You
was
said Warp
fun.
Tour? Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Someone definitely did some research. I love this. This is nice. This is great. Um, yeah, yeah. I don't know if I would choose one over the other. They all kind of have their place. I mean, I loved doing like when I went on tour with this band Neck Deep, we did a UK arena tour and it was like that was crazy because it was my first time overseas, my first time on a tour bus, my first time playing arenas, every single night. It was just a lot of really first time experiences for me. And that was like I wish I look back and I'm like, man, like it was like it's such a blur now. I wish I could like relive that again now with like the experience I have and like how I play now. But yeah, I mean, that was really, really cool. I've never seen, I mean, it's the first time I've seen you're in a room of 30,000, 40, 50,000, whatever many it was people. You know what I mean? It's like for me at the time where it hadn't really formed into like a business or anything yet. Like I had just kind of like started doing my thing online and felt like I was like, not like getting lucky, but just kind of like somehow landing in these situations where I was like playing with a band, like when I played with Paramore, there's 20,000 people there at Merriweather Post Pavilion. And that was just off of me like campaigning online and doing a lot of videos and stuff like that. But, it was not like this, it happened and then that was it. You know what I mean? Like they kept going on the tour and then I was like, all right, well, I got to go back to work, like do whatever I was doing. But with the arena tour, like that was like, oh, I'm doing this every single night and I'm really far away from my house and I'm meeting people overseas who I've never been in the same room, but who like know who I am off of these videos and stuff. So this is like really cool. I recorded a song with the band, like we got to perform it. It was really, really different. So yeah, I mean, I love doing stuff like that. But me even doing the smooth jazz thing now, like I'm playing a lot of these smaller, intimate spaces like I like that stuff too. It's cool because
Yeah.
like it's just you can feel a lot closer with the audience and the reactions, and I get to like play some more of my like R&B influence stuff, which like people really like. So like I like that stuff too. Plus the food is cool. Like at a lot of these places, I love eating mac and cheese right after I play a gig. Like that's sick. So yeah, like yeah, I don't know. I kind of love them all.
Now, I mean, do you have any, we need to hear some good stories. What's the craziest thing that happened either on stage or behind stage?
Mm. So I'm super chill. Like I don't really like I'm not like a big party dude or anything like that. Like yeah, I'm not like a wild guy by any means. I'm like pretty chill. So on that end, like nothing really crazy. I really like even when I'm at home, like I water my plants, you know what I mean? I have a little garden, you know what I mean? Like I'm like I sit outside, you know what I mean? Like I listen to music, like and I just work in my studio. I watch movies, like that's kind of my thing. But as far as like other stuff, I mean, like I went on tour with Neck Deep and we did a tour that was like with Blink 182 and Lil Wayne, and it's really kind of a random lineup, but it was pretty crazy. I got to meet Wayne briefly, and you know that's kind of cool.
Nice.
So I mean, I don't know if that counts, but like that
It
was kind of cool.
does.
It's kind of cool. Even the stuff with like Wiz, like me, just like the first time I was in the studio with him was kind of like my first time uh being in a place where I'm in a room. It's really smoky in there for obvious reasons. And I am the only guy with a sax and a guitar in their hand in a room full of like mostly rappers and just entourage. And Wiz is, you know, kind of doing his thing. He's recording verses and he would just give me the look and be like, this one. And I'm like, I got to come up with it on. It's not like being here. I can take my time. And if I want to stop and go get some food and then come back to it, like I got to do it on the spot. So, I mean, as a musician, that was a pretty wild experience to have to operate in a room that's like super smoky and also like where I'm expected to like handle biz on the spot, but I also like trust my instincts as far as this is what I do. So, you
Yeah,
know, if I can't deliver, then that's a problem within itself.
yeah,
So that was kind of wild as far as like getting there at like 6, 7 p.m. and then leaving at like 7, 8 in the morning. You know what I mean? Like and then going and sleeping all day and then waking up at like 5, eating, and then going right back to the studio for a couple weeks. That was like pretty crazy, I would say. So
yeah.
yeah.
And it's interesting because you're not. It's I can just get into here. Know you. You're not a party type of guy, but what? So what do you do? Because you sound like you like to decompress,
Of course.
relax, and
Yeah.
right. So
Yeah.
what's your favorite way to decompress right after tour?
Just like eat. I'm like a big foodie. Like I love eating a lot.
Right.
So
Me too.
I would say like
All of us.
yeah,
Sounds
like
good.
That's
dude.
Sounds good.
all
I
we
talk about
do.
food all the time.
Yep.
Yeah,
Me and
yeah.
Tasha, and we
Yep.
fight. We fight for food. We go crazy. She better not eat my last biscuit. I tell you that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
The thing that sucks now is that like I remember like when I was, you know, like younger and people would be like, "Oh, like enjoy it now, you know, when you can just eat whatever you want because, you know, it doesn't come off so easily as you start to get older." And I was like, "Fam, like I can't really see that happening." You know what I mean? And like I've been going back to the gym recently because I was like, "Fam, like I love eating, but like man, I gotta actually, I guess it's they were right. My parents and everyone were right. Like it's not coming off as quickly as it used to, where I could just go outside and like run around a little bit, and I'm like, oh, I lost like X amount of pounds. Like I kind of got to like work at it now, which kind of sucks.
It's depressing.
Uh, yeah, it is. It sucks, but it's like I don't know. During the pandemic too, a bunch of my friends, like I was never like a huge gamer. I did that when I was young, kind of off and on, but I was never like the guy who had like the headset and like after school was like I'm gonna hop on the game. But during the pandemic, a bunch of my friends, they're all my like homeboys, all get on Xbox and they had been telling me about it. I was like, all right, like cool, like I'll do it. You know, we had nothing but time during that period anyway.
Yeah.
So we all hop on like the game chat like pretty much every single night. And it's like my friends that like I'm very, very close with, went to school with, but we don't see each other all that often. But it's
Yeah.
essentially like a virtual poker night almost every single night where we can get on there and like everyone's just like laughing and carrying on and we're catching up and we're just like being goofballs. And that is silly, or I guess like as normal as that sounds for
Yeah.
someone like me, where I'm around people all the time and I'm like constantly on the move, having that like place where even when I am traveling and I get back to the hotel and I can get on and be like, oh, the boys are on. Let me like screw around for a few and be like, yo, like what's good? What are y'all doing? And just like that I really like look forward to. So as far as like being able to relax, I would say like stuff like that, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Mr. Saxel,
Sir.
what do you? No, the JC is good. Jason. But anyway, it could be Sir JC, but
My
no, but
apologies.
no, I won't. Myself, but it's messing with. What do you wish you do earlier about branding and positioning as an artist?
Mm.
I know you're only 21, so it couldn't be that much earlier. But no, I'm just,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So what I wish I knew earlier, like I don't know. To be honest, like I don't know. I don't think I have anything. And if I can clarify, I would say the reason is because like I'm a true believer in like you know everything happens you know the way it should, when it should, all that kind of stuff, and like Last year I've been like I went to community college and started doing business stuff there. And then I started going to University of Maryland online and pursuing like my bachelor's in business administration and marketing and stuff like that. And I graduated last year. And like um the stuff that I was learning on there and how I was able to like gradually apply that, like I don't think that like I think I did a really really good job when it came to like the branding stuff as far as like okay I came up with like I was just kind of screwing around and happened to come up with this name Saxl Rose, then I had a viral video take off, and then I started doing all these things that to me I didn't really even think about it that much, but it just ended up working out that way as far as like oh okay I'm gonna make merch and Saxl Rose, okay I'm gonna make my logo be the saxophone with the roses coming out and I'm gonna put that on everything, I'm gonna make a backdrop and perform in front of it, I'm gonna attach that at the end of my videos and I'm gonna sell merch with that on it so other people can buy that and like clearly still doing the thing and I'm gonna trademark my names and do the copyrights like all those things I feel like I really like did a pretty good job on and did that in a relatively like timely manner. So I'm not sure if there was anything that like looking back, like maybe if anything, maybe just like start a little bit sooner. Like I wish I maybe had started the videos a little bit sooner than I did. But I was focused on other things. Like I was in a rock band, so like for years I was doing that, like playing guitar, and that was my whole focus. So I just feel like everything kind of hit the way that it should. So I don't know if I would like really like do anything differently. Honestly, I think it just kind of worked out.
So where did the name come from, Saxl
It's
I was just, yeah, hold on. Go ahead. I'm
Rose?
sorry. Hold on.
Nah.
Hey, Saxon, man, hold on, Tosh. I'm sorry not to cut you. I'm so sorry. Saxon, I got a funny story about your name, right? Two
Okay.
weeks ago, John told me that you was gonna be on the show, right? This is why John was laughing. I was half asleep, and I was like, "You said, wait a minute, ain't that the lead for Guns N' Roses, Axl Rose?" I'm like, "John, we did it.
Right, right.
We made it.
Yeah, we on.
We
This is
we."
it.
we and so when he said,
Yeah.
"Nah, you right," and he sent me all your videos. I'm like, I was getting mad with John. I said, "John, this is not Guns N' Roses. What are you talking about?" He said, "No,
Yeah.
this is the guy." I said, "Oh man,
Oh my God. Yeah, the disappointment you probably felt when it was like,
nah, I
There's
did."
no
I,
disappointment.
no,
we
it
ain't
was no
making it out with this
disappointment.
one.
I
Waking
thought he
that
was
sweet
talking
child of
about,
mine, man.
yeah, I thought he was talking about Guns N' Roses, Axl
Yeah,
Rose.
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
oh,
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So like that's hilarious. Yeah. Well, in short, what happened was uh I was like I said, I was playing in this rock band and me and my friends were like goofballs. Like I seem super chill and like cool in real life, but like I'm a pretty goofy dude. And like we would just people would say like something random and we would all just be like, oh, change your Twitter name to that. It was just like a thing at the time. We would change our Twitter names to the most like ridiculous thing we could think of. So I have a list somewhere in my phone of like all my former Twitter names. And I was Chill Smith for a little bit. I was I was John Legend, like just like anything you could think of, like just
Mm.
like stupid
Wow.
stuff. So when I'm in the studio and the producer that we were working with at the time was like working on this pop side project and he was like, man, I really wish I knew someone who played sax because it would go perfect like on the song. And at the time, I was just playing guitar in this band, but I like was playing sax kind of on the side. He didn't know that. So I was like, yo, I have my sax in my car. I keep it in my car like all the time. And he was like, get out of here. And I was like, dude, yeah, I'll be right back. Grabbed it, played it. And he tagged me in a video of me playing and then shared it on his Instagram. And like I just saw like the numbers and people commenting, like, oh, this is so cool. And like I sat down after I recorded it and I was talking to my boys and I was like, yo, this is a great idea. Like I didn't even think about the fact that excuse me, I could record sax for like bands like this. I could probably do more if more people knew that I played. So I'm gonna start recording cover videos to like the music that we listen to, like rock bands, Paramore, and just all the bands we were listening to at the time. I was like, I'm just gonna start throwing up covers like 10, 15
Smart.
seconds, just and get out of there, and then rinse and repeat. The big bands, the smaller bands, the medium bands, whatever. So that was just like the plan I came up with. So when I made that decision, I was like, yo, I'm gonna start coming up with sax puns to change my Twitter name to. So there was a movie that came out in the 2000s. that like my age group was into that was called Max Keeble's Big Move. So I changed my name to Sax Keeble. And then there was another one that like I had like Sax something. And then I remember I was looking on Google and I was just trying to find different like axe names to where I could throw the S in front and it would make sense. And
Mhm.
Car Axle came up and I was like, oh, Saxel is dope. And then like the Rose thing just kind of like came to for obvious reasons. So I was like, oh, I'm just gonna change my Twitter name to that. And then I did the Paramore video, and the lead singer saw it and shared it like that next day after I changed my Twitter name,
Wow.
and it did like 250,000 views in like a day.
Wow.
So once that happened, I was like, I'm just gonna stick with Saxo Rose
Yeah.
because
Oh yeah.
all these music blogs picked up like when she shared it, this music blog Rock Sound and this magazine Alternative Press, like they shared the story like, oh, Haley Williams gives the stamp of approval to, Twitter saxophonist Saxel Rose because they didn't know my real name. So I just was like, cool, if I'm already getting press about it and she's already sharing it, clearly there's something here that's making sense and I don't have to understand it. I should just roll with it. So that's what I
Mhm.
did.
Yeah. Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
how do you find it? Because social media is social media, right? And a lot of
Mhm.
times, you see the person on social media is not who they really are,
Mm,
outside of social media.
mm,
How, like, is it difficult, like, how do you keep that authenticity, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do you
mm,
build that recognizable persona and stay
mm.
authentic? Because you seem like the same person.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think if you have to think too much about whether what you're doing is authentic, then I feel like you're already operating at a loss. You know what I mean? Like, I think the key for me is I don't really think about it. I just don't. Like, I post music and I just hope that people like it, and that's kind of it. Like, I can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Sorry, I heard this weird news, but uh. Yeah, I don't really think about it too much. Like I post about my like health advocacy as far as like I work with the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation and my work on that side, and that's like kind of it. You know what I mean? So it's like I make funny videos from time to time, like when I'm promoting something like a show, and like just try to keep things interesting. But I don't really think about like I don't really think I have like a persona per se. Like I'm just me all the time. Like my mom will tell you, and all my friends, and like my girlfriend, like everyone will just tell you the same thing. Like this is just who I am around the clock. So I don't really think about like turning anything off and on and how I present online. Like I just don't really care. Like I don't even
Yeah.
care anymore from the standpoint of like numbers, to be honest with you. Like I used to think about that stuff when I was younger. Like, man, I gotta get to 15,000 followers and I gotta get this video to get on this amount of views. I really just don't care anymore. Like I'm just like whoever likes it. And I feel like the people who support me, I love, and like I get to do my job and like live my dream as far as making a living off of music, and that's like pretty much enough for me. You know what I mean? There was a really long time that was not the case. That I was like putting everything that I had, every dollar back into following my dream and my passion, and being able to make a living off of it was something that I was like, man, one day that would be amazing. And now I get to do that. So that's kind of like where that stops for me. I'm just happy to be in the mix, happy to get the calls, happy to, be getting paid for it. And like, that's just it. You know what I mean?
No, it's pretty dope because I know I had a mentor tell me just find your
Yeah.
tribe,
Yeah.
and you'll be fine. And that's exactly what you're
Exactly.
doing. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
exactly what
exactly.
you're
I
doing.
don't think about it too much. Like I
Yeah.
stay out of the mix. I'm just a musician, man. Like I'm just doing what I love to do. And I would have been doing it regardless if anyone was paying attention because I was doing it when no one cared. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, yeah. Now
yeah.
I'm also a bit of a creative, and I'm always curious about other creatives,
Mm,
their creative process, and
mm,
how they get comfortable, and how
mm,
they come to, what I mean, how they start their, like, I don't know, it's just so interesting because everybody has their own way of doing things, right?
it's true. Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
So walk us through a little bit how a Saxo Rose track or arrangement comes to life. Like, where
Mm,
does the idea come from, and then,
mm.
how does it get from there to finish to once you get on stage?
I think just like I'm a big like when I can't stop talking about something, that's kind of how I know. Like um I started getting into like I never really used to listen to like playlists. I would just like download music and that would kind of be my thing. But over the past like year, 2 years, I would say like I started getting more into like just like listening to playlists and finding a lot of really good music that way. So like recently I found this random song that was like jazz house and I was like, man, I love this. Like this is awesome. Like I could totally make something like this that would just be a vibe for like the summer and like just people. I don't know. Like I've never really gone into that world. Like that's kind of one of the only places I haven't been is the more like electronic side. And but I like couldn't stop listening to this song and I start talking about it like over and over again. Like I'm like, oh, I could do something like this. And I was like telling my friends and like my girlfriend, like, oh yeah, like this would be cool. And that's kind of how I knew, like, I'm like, okay, like I'm getting that itch. I keep talking about it. So last night I just like came down here and pulled up a blank session and just kind of like, I don't know, just kind of started. And next thing you knew, like I had it and like I already recorded it, it's finished. And that's kind of where it comes from for me. It's just like if I can't stop thinking about something or if I'm running the same type of song over and over, or there's a specific sound that I just can't stop thinking or talking about. It's kind of how I know, like, okay, that means like there's something in me that like I'm feeling creative and I need to like let that flow somewhere. So it's time to
Yeah.
come here and do the thing. So
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like as long as I'm like not hungry, because I can't really record much when I keep talking about food. This is bad. Uh I yeah, I gotta like be full and I gotta like the area's gotta be clean. Like if stuff's like everywhere, it's kind of hard for me to like really lock in. I gotta have like things kind of like tidy and I don't want to in the middle of my process have to be like I want to record drums but I got to get them out and turn them on because then I'm not going to do it. So everything in my studio is like I hit two buttons, everything's on, everything's plugged up ready to go and I can just like do the thing at a moment's notice and my guitars are here, my electric drum set's right here, my keys are here, the mic's here, my sax is here. So literally anything I need, boom, and then I can record it. And it's got to be like that for me because if not, I'll find a reason to be like, maybe I just feel like going outside and sitting down and like looking at birds or something. You know what I mean? Like,
You go touch the
so
grass.
it's like, yeah, like touch the grass. Like, I got into planting like, last year. So like, I'm super like been planting grass. You know what I mean? And planting flowers and stuff. Like, just doing like just dad stuff. Like, I'm really embracing the unk status right now. Of just like doing. I'm grilling. You know what I mean? Cooking on the Blackstone. You know what I'm saying? That's my bag. So yeah.
Mm. No, yeah, I love that. And then, are you working on anything right now that you could tease for us? Like, are you
hmm
being
Yeah, it's gonna be out tonight at midnight. I got a 3 pack of songs coming out.
okay?
Like I said, I'm work. Wiz kind of got me started on this thing, and it turned into like trap Saxel. So I'm kind of doing the her thing. If anyone listens to her, where
Love
like
her.
she's great. Her original album, when like no one knew who she was, she dropped in the form of like two EPs that formed the album, like her. So it was like her volume one, volume two, and then her the album. I'm kind of doing a similar thing where I released a single called Slow Burn and I like promoted that for like, a month and a half, played that, did the thing. And that was just like a kind of like an intro to like, this is a sound that I'm going to be kind of messing with. And then now tonight comes the 3 pack, which includes Slow Burn plus two new songs that I've been working on, and then the next phase is all the vocal stuff. So me rapping, me singing, I got some features on there and still staying true to like the trap saxal sound, but just incorporating a little bit more, like introducing like the vocals and stuff like that in my songwriting. And then that will be Trap Saxel Volume 2, which will lead into the full album of just Trap Saxel, the album, which will involve everything from 1, 2, plus a couple new songs. So
Nice.
that's the main thing. And right after that, I got a whole different project that I'm dropping um, of just like some other cool stuff. And I have so now the problem is I have so much music recorded because I've spent the last like 6 months to a year just like in my spare time really focusing on recording a ton of music. Now the hard part is just like finding out how and when to release everything to where
Mhm.
it makes sense. Like I have songs I could drop right now outside of Trap Saxel, but it's like I'm in the middle of the Trap Saxel rollout, so I can't
Mhm.
like release a smooth jazz John or like an indie or like some metal stuff, but I have all that ready to go. So
Mhm.
now it's just like, okay, this is the order I'm going to do it in. Let's stick to it so it makes sense and then release it and then move on to the next thing, and whoever likes it, and it's there forever. You can listen to it anytime you want. So that's, yeah, that's the plan. So the teaser will be out tonight at midnight. Y'all can listen to that and let me know what you
Awesome.
think.
All right. Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Now I'm looking at the what we have our wheel together, right, guys? All right. So this is we have a segment of our show called Playtime. This is where we have a little bit of fun. So I'm gonna
Mm.
throw it to Arson. Am I throwing it the right way? Arson, go ahead. Shut up. We can't hear you.
Yo.
Talking all that and we can't even hear
Oh
you.
no, don't worry. I ain't saying nothing. Don't worry. I ain't saying nothing. Saxl, how you doing, man? Glad that you're here, man. It's an honor to have you on the
Likewise.
show.
Thanks.
Um, this is the part of the show we call playtime. This is my segment of the show. That thunder's crazy. We have a wheel with 6 songs on it right now. Whatever number that the wheel lands on, that'll be the song that you tell us about. Now, this is where the game kicks off at. With the songs, you tell us where you was at the time the song was released, how it
Okay.
inspired you to do music, and if you have it to make it fun, your most embarrassing moment uh, while the song was out at that time. This is your
God.
mission should you choose to accept it.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Let's get it. Yeah.
All right. Let's see if this wheel is lubed up today, brother.
Right.
Yo.
Do we get the D? What's that called? The DW called?
DW is WD for.
Oh, whatever.
Yo.
California Love, Tupac and Dr. Dre.
What year did that song come out?
Whoa, that was
90s.
96.
95,
Yeah.
6, I'm
No,
thinking.
that was 96.
Okay, so I
Yeah.
was 3.
Wow,
Yeah,
Wow.
you
yeah,
won,
like,
man.
yeah,
See,
hell yeah, dude.
He's a young guy. Yeah,
Yeah, so
wait a minute.
man,
You
that
just
one
made
takes
me
me
feel
back. I mean,
real old.
yeah,
I
yeah, I
didn't
was
think
Let's
that.
like,
go.
I think
No,
I was
let's
like
go to the
2
next
maybe.
song because I
Like,
feel like an old
Welcome to
lady
the
right now.
playback.
I do,
yeah, yeah.
Wow,
I do love that song though. It's
that's
a
why we
really good,
call it the playback for real,
yeah,
That
it's
was
a
man.
great
the went
song.
into the old age home, man. I remember it
Yeah,
well.
I love that song. That song, the video is fire. Chris Tucker was in it. Like, I love. My
Yeah.
mom was a DJ.
That's
She gave me a bunch
hilarious.
of CDs. So like, I love Tupac. Like, I love. I have done the deep dive many times on Pac. His music is amazing. So yeah,
All right, moving
Uh
on.
oh, I think the man, roll it again, man. See, man.
yeah, it's all good. Great idea.
Stan. The artist is Eminem, but the song is called Stan. Do you remember that song?
Yeah, yeah. I love that song. It actually reminds
Uh,
me of that song. I remember singing that song. My my parents weren't always together, so when I was growing up, my time was split between Havre de Grace in Maryland, where my mom lived, and Turner Station in Baltimore, where my dad lived. And that house was like, it was like a 4-story house, and at one point, I think we like had like 13, 14 people inside of that house, like living there, like me, my cousin, my brother, my uncle, my aunt, my grandparents, my dad, and like my other cousin with her 2 kids. Like, we were, and like just eating chicken and going to the corner spot, like just doing all that stuff like growing up. And I'd like miss those times so much. But my cousin loved that song, the chorus especially. So like anytime I hear that song, it just makes me think of a very good time in my life. Even though the song is like kind of heavy, but like but it's put together very well. I like Eminem, so yeah, that's all I got.
yeah, shout out to Baltimore, Essex, Middle River,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dundalk,
Glen
all that.
Yes,
Burnie,
Yeah,
that's
Glen
a
Glen,
fact.
Burnie.
Glen Burnie, all that.
Maryland in the
We-
building.
That's a
Yeah.
fact.
all right, let's move on to the next one.
Ooh, nice.
The Club by 50 Cent.
A banger. I really really like 50 Cent a lot. I've read all his books. Um and he's been a really really big influence on the business side, as far as like how he was able to like, he made so many smart business decisions, and I was like, damn, like that's such a good idea. Like the vitamin water, great idea. all his TV shows and how he was just like throwing so much like at the wall. Like, I really, really love 50 Cent. Like outside of Wiz, like I would say he's definitely one of those artists I grew up listening to, and like really, really respecting their hustle, especially. But that song is fire. Like did I do a cover to that song? I think I did a cover to that song. I got it somewhere, but yeah, 50's great, and that video was super dope. And what's funny is a couple years ago, I covered a song by Tony Yayo, which is like 50's right hand dude on G Unit. And Yayo DM me and was like, yo, like, uh, this is fire. Like, and I was like, oh, good looks. And he was like, yo, we should hop on a, or he was like, yo, 50 wants to work with you. And I was like, oh, dope. Like, that's crazy. And he was like, yeah, say thank you. I was like, all right, thank you. And he's like right next to me. You should hop on this. Like, he was like, yo, but I want to talk to you. Like, hop on this call. And I was like, all right, cool. So he calls me, and it's Yayo and Yayo's manager. And he was like, yo, listen, like, I was with 50 when I played the video, and he was like, what is that? And he was like, Yayo was like, yo, it's to do Saxl Rose. He's done a couple of those, like, super dope. And Yayo was like, yo, what I want you to do, if I were you, we're about to do this tour. And if I were you, I would record a 50 Cent cover. And I'd already done a couple, but he was like, do like another one and something for me to like show to him. You know what I mean? Like, because we're about to do this tour. You never know what kind of position he might need. You know what I mean? So if I were you, I would include everything you do, the sax, the keys, whatever. So I did like a super cover where I recorded like all 50's like biggest hits and a couple underground songs, a couple of his diss songs to like Ja Rule. Like I was like, whatever I can do to like really appeal to 50. And I was doing everything like keys, guitar, whatever. And I sent it to him and he was really digging it. Like Yayo was really digging it. It was like, yo, this is perfect. And he was like, yo, uh, he asked me, he was like, yo, what are you doing? We're bringing this tour to Canada. And I was like, oh, like I'm playing like I already have like a tour for like that time. And he was like, damn, all right. And it was just one of those things that like he still follows me and stuff and we still like talk every now and again. But it was just one of those things where I think like the time and place for that specific show run and that tour just didn't line up. And I always tell people all the time, things in the industry, I never get excited for things until like it's in black and white or until I'm on the plane to go. And the reason is because I've been in situations before where person A says we should do this and person B says I'm down and the intention is there. They're down and I'm down and everything might be in place, but it just still doesn't happen. And it's not because the people didn't want it to happen. It's not because it's never going to happen. It's just one of those things where like in the music industry, like attention go even with Wiz, like attention, like if you have his attention, you got to throw as much as you got while you got the attention because as a creative, I'm the same way too. Like I'll be on that wave for a second, and then once my attention is off of it, I'm like, I already did that. And, like I got to think about something else. So uh that was just one of those things where like it was right there and just like fell through. And I'm like, one of these days it's gonna happen, and I just leave it up to the universe. But that's the closest I got. So yeah. Yeah.
So Tony Yayo, if
Got
you're
another one?
listening, there'll be another shot at it. Give him a call.
Yeah, yeah, come on,
Next song.
yeah, you know what's going
There
on.
you go.
What we got? Oh, okay, we got study. Ooh, it's a great song. Rock My World, pretty
Rock My
sure.
World, Michael Jackson. Let's go.
Great song. A really underrated album by him. Invincible was a really, really, really good album. He made a couple choices that I was like, I feel like maybe you should have done something else too. But who am I to say? It's the king of pop. Like it's just my personal opinion. But I think that album is a very slept on album in his catalog. It's really, really good. And that song in particular, the video is great. And it also reminds me of Baltimore because we used to like me and my cousin and my brother used to like do the dances and stuff. You know what I mean? Like have the video up and try to like do the thing, whatever he was doing. And I actually just played it recently. I added it to one of my shows after I saw this trumpet player Lynn Roundtree. He played it, and I was like, I forgot about this song and how well it goes over on trumpet. Like it could probably sound great on sax too. and he asked me to play it with him. So I was like, man, I'm gonna throw this into one of my sets and just see how it goes. And it went over really well. People still really love that song, and rightfully so. It's amazing. So um, yeah, I don't have an embarrassing story tied to it necessarily, but I do love Michael Jackson, and I love that song.
We all love MJ, bro.
Yeah.
He's
Yep.
the goat.
Yep.
He's the
Yeah, of
goat.
course.
He's on the cover of Life magazine right now, and like he passed away a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
dude was a legend.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
What's this? Is that first? Yeah. Is that the last one?
Country Grandma Nelly.
oh, this reminds me of my brother. My brother's 2.5 years older than me, and he's a Marine pilot. He graduated from the Naval Academy, super smart, like, and we're very similar in a lot of ways, but he's like the the athletic military version of me, if you will. And yeah, he's just the best. And he really, really loved Nellyville a lot. Loved country grammar. Like anytime I think of Nelly, I think of my brother right away. My brother had like the double disc, the sweatsuit, like was bumping that. I knew the catalog just from my brother being so on. Like for whatever reason, all those southern songs with like Chingy and Nelly, like my brother was
Hmm.
all over that. So anytime I think of Nellyville, especially or like any of those early songs, like I immediately think of my brother like just like playing the hell out of those CDs. So he put me on like a lot of really dope music as well. So yeah, I don't know if that counts, but
Yeah. The
yeah.
South definitely had a good run, man.
He did, yeah. He's. I'm
Yeah.
sure he's still doing fine. Like, you know
Oh
what I
yeah.
mean? Like, uh,
Absolutely. Absolutely. We love
yeah,
Nelly. We love Nelly.
yeah, yeah. No, he's
Yep.
cool.
Yep. So we want now because this is we're running out of time. But please tell us where to find you, what you got going on. Let the audience know where they
Sure,
can follow you. Give
sure.
us all your stuff.
Okay, all this stuff. Well, first of all, I appreciate you all just taking the time to speak to me. I don't want to go any further without saying that. I really appreciate the call and appreciate you guys just taking the time to like listen and ask me questions and do your research. That like really means a lot, seriously. Um, but in general, yeah, you can find me everywhere. SaxlRoseOfficial.com. Yeah, www.saxrosofficial.com has all my stuff on there, like all my music links, all the news, my email lists, all my collaborations, playlists, like anything that has anything to do with me, you can book me for stuff on there. Anything that has anything to do with me, you can find on my website. And then you can also find my socials on there. Instagram, same thing, all one word. Saxl Rose, Saxl Rose, like the flower, official on Instagram. Same thing on Facebook. Same thing on freaking MySpace or whatever it is that people are getting on these days, TikTok, whatever. Uh, and yeah, I think Trap Saxel is out tonight, volume one, 3 songs, and I really just hope people enjoy it. And I have a ton of music I'm playing or I'm putting out this year, as well as like a bunch of traveling I'm doing. I'll be in North Carolina uh in July. I'll also be there in August. I'll also be in Hawaii in August. My label's doing a cruise in February and March, so I'm hitting the water. uh, yeah, I got a lot going on. So wherever you're at, I'm sure I'll be playing there soon. I get a lot of traveling. I got a couple Maryland dates I'm doing. I got a meet and greet experience I'm doing in Maryland also on in August, the day before I headline a wine and jazz festival that happens every single year. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff is happening this year. I just want people to come out to shows, and I say it at my shows a lot. There's enough like bad stuff going on at my shows. Like I just want people to come and be able to like relax and not think about that stuff for like an hour or 2 hours, whatever that is. Like I don't care what anyone does. Like just come, enjoy the music, and worry about the stuff later. I just want my shows to be a very safe and happy place. So
Yeah, I love
if
it.
that sounds like something that's appealing, definitely come to see your boy Saxo Rose.
All
Okay.
right. All right. You heard it here on the playback. We want to also thank you for giving us some of your time today, Saxo.
Oh, of
This
Yeah.
course.
was so
Great.
much fun. And
Yeah, absolutely.
thank you to the audience for tuning in. Make sure that you go ahead and follow Saxl, because if you haven't heard it yet, you need to hear it. I mean, it's super dope artist. We love it when we get a chance to speak to some of the cooler artists that are still making waves. I'm still doing something. You know what
Thank
I
you.
mean? So
Yeah,
yes,
yep.
yes, yes. So it's very exciting. So everybody go follow him. Go follow us. We are the Playback. You can tune in to us on Blazing 420 WPAM. My brain and my mouth were not working together just now. Excuse me. Blazing
Jeez.
420 WPAM on iHeartRadio. And also coming soon, we will be on Beats and Bars TV. So just look out for that as well. So you guys, thanks again for joining us and tuning in. We appreciate you so much, and thank you again, Saxon. Remember, go follow him and see what he's doing. Brother's got a lot going on. All right. Thank
No
you
doubt.
Thanks.
guys, and
Appreciate you,
good
Sax.
All right. All right.
night.
Appreciate
Thank
y'all,
you.
man. Y'all reach out
All right.
anytime. Peace.
All
All
right.
right.
Peace.